Dr. FEMI ASHAOLU. Thank you.
Good afternoon, everybody. My name is Femi. I think I do so many things. First, I trained as a dentist, then I became a pediatric dentist. I moved to IT and I did some things like business analysis. I have my CBAB, PMI, PBA. As a project manager, I have my PMP, PMI, ACP, Scrum, and some certifications. And this afternoon, I'll be talking about the Canadian Dream. I believe that this program is organized for immigrants. And the reason why you're in Canada is because you have a dream. You have aspirations, you have goals that you're trying to achieve, and you think moving to Canada will give you a better or advantage or give you a leverage to be able to access world-class facilities, world-class resources to be able to achieve those goals. And the Canadian dream can be very daunting sometimes. And for some people, especially immigrants, sometimes you come in and then you have this Canadian dream of, okay, it might be money, it might be education, it might be success, it might be properties, so many things that people aim to achieve when they move to Canada. And the funniest thing about the Canadian dream or the dreams that you have when you move to Western nations is there are some characteristics that just, that you know that this is maybe the American dream, the Canadian dream, the UK dream, and all that. One, it is dynamic. You have a dream of, okay, I want a six-figure job. You get a six-figure job. 6 months, 1 year down the line, it changes. And then you realize that, okay, I think I need to get some properties. You get the properties, and then you say, oh, I think I need to prepare for my children. I need to get a good family. I need work-life balance. Initially, when you moved to Canada, you remember you just said, anything. Let me just get that six-figure job. And then you realize that, okay, anything is not anything. And then you want more. You want work-life balance. And for some people, they get to Canada, they have been sold the Canadian dream, and weeks into their stay in Canada, the dream completely evaporates, just disappears. And you feel that this is not what they told me. This is not the experience. If there's actually a Canadian dream, then I should not be going through this. I want to encourage you that you are not alone. When I came in, the first time I landed Canada, a few weeks later, I packed myself and I went back to Nigeria. Said, I will come back when I'm prepared. That is, I'm telling you my own personal experience. And then I came back prepared. So if you didn't go back like me, then that means you're strong. That means you're stronger. And if I can go this far, then I bet and I can assure you that you can do better. I'm sure nobody expected that somebody will go back to Nigeria to go and re-strategize. I went back, did some things, closed all the chapters. You know, sometimes when you move to Canada, you move to a new country, you still have some things that is still holding you back. It's not because I couldn't make it in Canada, but because I still had some things that will make me look back and say, okay, I need to close this chapter. I need to do this. I need to do that. I went back, few months, cleared everything, and I came in prepared. So it is actually something that is worth trying. It's a risk, and it is a risk that is worth taking. If you feel that if you have actually sacrificed so much to come to Canada, then I can assure you that you are going to succeed in Canada. Because people have come before you, some other people will come after you, and some people are with you. And just understand that whatever it is that you're going through, whether good, ugly, bad, whatever the situation, your feelings, your emotions are valid, and other people are going through it. And I want to assure you that that Canadian dream, we'll all achieve it together. All right? When you have made up your mind that I want to achieve this Canadian dream, like I said, it might be dynamic. Some people often stumble on it by mistake or by accident. You want to move to tech and you don't know anything about tech. You want to make six-figure salary, and it just seems like, how do I go about it? And then you attend a program like this without being prepared, and they tell you about a particular career path that aligns with your vision and your experience back in your country. And accidentally, you just realize that, oh, that means I can do this and I can achieve it. And before you know it, 1 month, 2 months, 3 months, 4 months, 6 months down the line, you are there. You are living the Canadian dream. So that's why I said, it might be by accident. You didn't plan that this is, some people are in tech today, not because they plan to. Some people are doing some jobs today and they're making a lot of money. They have a good life, work-life balance, not because they planned for it, but because they just attend programs like this. And that's just opened their eyes to opportunities. So I would advise you, as new immigrants, as myself, because I'm just 2 years, please attend programs like that. Attend programs like that are being fashioned for new immigrants. You don't know something that you just get an information, the seed will be sown, and then before you know it, it will blossom and it will just be like, oh, this is what I've always wanted. That being said, this was the roadmap that I set for myself when I eventually went back to prepare and came to Canada fully prepared to live the Canadian dream. I'm still on the journey, please. Don't think that, oh, this guy is really living the dream. He's living the life. Definitely not. But when I look at my journey 2 years ago and I look at where I am today, I can tell you that your dreams are valid. I can tell you that if I can do it, you are more than capable to achieve more and even more than what I've achieved. All right. The Canadian dream, it's more like a big picture of what you want. It might be family, it might be career, it might be properties, it might be success, it might be education, and all that. But the most important thing that you need to do is you need to have the big picture set, more like a vision that you say, this is what I want to achieve. You might not have the details. You might not have all the information you need to get to that final destination, but you need that big picture of what you want to achieve in order to be able to get there. If you don't have the big picture, you will get lost in the rat race. People will come to you and say, okay, this is the kind of job that you should be doing. You do it 3 months, you say, oh, this is not for me. Another 6 months, this is not for me. Before you know it, you are 5 years in. And you really don't have anything to show for it because what you did not have that big picture set. And whatever the Canadian dream, and okay, let me state this, that the Canadian dream is actually personal. My Canadian dream is different from your Canadian dream. Your dream is different from the next person sitting next to you. So really, it's more of a personal thing. For some people, 6-figure, they are okay. For some people, the 6-figure now has categories. For some people, they just want properties. Some people just want the education, international education, and I'm settled. Some people want that passport that can give you access to so many countries, visa on landing. You don't have to book visa appointments 6 months, 1 year before you travel. So the Canadian dream is personal. But whatever the Canadian dream that you have, you need economic power. You need finance to be able to power that dream. So you need to find a way to secure your source of income. And one of the easiest way to secure your source of income, not the easiest way or the plausible way to secure your source of income, is to set a career path for yourself. What do I want to do to be able to achieve that Canadian dream? And for many of us, maybe because of our country of birth or where we're moving from, you really don't have one particular career path set for you, or the career path is not completely straight when you move to Canada. Let's say, for example, you move into Canada as a doctor. You know that getting to write the licensing exam can be very expensive. It might not even be straight. For some people, maybe dentists, you move into Canada, you have to go to school for 2 years, 1 year, 3 years, and you know that it comes with a lot of student loan and all that. It might not be straight, and you want to pivot to something that is not so difficult to achieve. That being said, what you need to do first is look at all the things explore as many options as possible, and look at the pros and cons of each of these options. Come up with like 2, 3, 4, 5 options that you have. And I want to state that tech is not the only way to the Canadian dream. It's not like, oh, if you want to make 6 figures, you must be in tech. If you want to do this, you must be a business analyst. If you want to move to tech, you must be a business analyst. If you're not a business analyst, then be a project manager. There are so many ways to get to that final destination. So have a list of things that you want to do. Look at the pros and cons of each of these options and the ones that really appeal to you. I'm not saying your passion now. If your passion will not give you a guaranteed return on investment, please rethink. Not, oh, this is what I've always loved to do. It is not ministry. Return on investment is very, very important when you want to chase the Canadian dream. So have a list, those ones that appeal to you, and then go from your position of strength. If you're in HR, for example, look at those things that are related to HR. Look at 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 career paths that are related to HR, and look at the advantage and disadvantage of all of them. Look at your position of strength and see if you can achieve it. If you move in as maybe an education, you're a lawyer, you're a doctor, whatever, you're a banker, just look at the first 5 career paths that can give you that source of income that can power your Canadian dream. Look at the pros and cons of each of them, and then see if you can achieve them. All right? So once you have those lists, go from your position of strength. If you have been a manager, for example, when I moved to tech from healthcare background. When I moved to tech, I realized that I've been working for years, and it's more like a managerial position. So I had 2 options. Move to the fully technical part of tech, or move to the not so technical part of tech. So I came up with like 3 or 4 options: project management, business analysis, Scrum, data analysis, like 5 of them. And the ones that appealed to me was business analysis, project management, Scrum. That being said, I knew that was my strength, right? And I decided to pursue it. And what I did was to do more like a gap analysis. Where am I at this point? Don't say this person was my classmate, the person moved to tech, so I can move to tech. This person is now doing a particular part, has taken a particular career path, and we're classmates in the university, so I can move. No. Be sincere with yourself. What are your strengths and your weaknesses? And start from there. Once you have assessed that, then look at where you're going to. You want to be a project manager, you want to be a business analyst, you want to be a management consultant, you want to be a lawyer, you want to be a dentist, you want to be a doctor. Any career path of your choice. What are the requirements? What are the responsibilities? Go on Indeed, go on LinkedIn. Check the requirements that they need to be able to work in those professions or disciplines of your choice. Once you have made that search, look at the possible certifications that you need. What are the top 2 or 3 certifications for each of these career paths? Project management, PMP, PMIACP, I think those are the first 2. CBAB, business analysis, CBAB, PMI, PBA. Scrum, CSM, PSM. Look at the first 2 certifications. I will still come back to certifications so that we don't go chasing certifications. Once you have those things, then look at how do I tick most of the boxes. Don't forget, when you want to transition or you move to a new country, you don't really necessarily need to tick 100% of the boxes. If you have 50 to 70, apply. You are good to go. The worst that will happen is, thank you for applying for this job, unfortunately. And I'm sure most of us here are used to, unfortunately, that sometimes you just look at it, that if it doesn't start with congratulations, you just delete it. It happened to me. You wake up 7 a.m. or 6, 5, and you'll be like, who is this HR person that sends mail? And the first thing you see is, unfortunately, not 1, not 2, not 3, not 4. And it seems like, is it that I'm not qualified? Sometimes we make the mistakes of applying for jobs that are 30 days plus on Indeed, 2 weeks plus on Indeed, 60 days plus on Indeed, and you just be like, at all, let me apply. By the time the job is 2 weeks, 3 weeks on Indeed, the HR most likely would have started the recruitment process. They would have done the first set of interview. waiting for the next step. So the recruiter would have done the recruiter interview, hiring manager interview, and already going to maybe the director, VP to give somebody the job. So it's not because you are not qualified, it's not because you are not good enough, but you applied late. So as a new immigrant, you must check those job boards every day. So that when it comes in newly posted, apply, then you stand a chance. 30 days plus, it will be unfortunately. Except they didn't get the right candidates. And you know Canada is filled with so many professionals. You are not the only one interested in that position. So that being said, with 50% of what you can, of the career path that you have chosen, you can start applying. And then the goal or the Canadian dream or your vision or the big picture that you have is not enough. You need to set some SMART goals. SMART, it has to be specific goals. I want to move to tech. I want to work as a management consultant. I want to work as a lawyer. I want to do this. Is not enough. You need to set SMART goals. That is specific goals that you can measure. And you know it is actually achievable. And it is time-bound. In 3 months, I want to write so certification exam. In 2 months, I want to finish this boot camp. Boot camp doesn't necessarily mean that when you finish the boot camp, you get the job. Boot camp is just to sensitize you, prepare you for that career path, and then you now go on personal journey and rigor of getting that job. Not, oh, I know somebody that did the boot camp for 2 months and then the person got the job immediately. Immediately for somebody might be different from you, from yours, right? So set SMART goals and know how you want to achieve those goals. The next thing you need to do is network. Programs like this, and I'm sure there are other programs like the CASA Foundation that they mentioned and all that, attend those programs and meet people, talk to people. The truth is, if you don't say anything, you are not going to get any help. But if you say something and you ask for help, you might get that help. So why not take that risk? Instead of, oh, I think some of these people of color, they don't want to help the other person and all that. Don't go with that bias. People in Canada, they don't like to help people. People in Ontario, they don't like to help people. That is not your case. That is not your own position. I need help. I want to network. Right? Another part of networking is if you're trying to transition or you're trying to get jobs, you're doing interview, you're applying for jobs and all that, find accountability partner. Somebody that will push you and you can also push the person. Because sometimes the journey can really, it can be frustrating. Like, you just feel that, are you sure I'm supposed to be in Canada? Do you understand? Are you sure I'm supposed to be in Canada? The journey can be really frustrating. Frustration left and right, and it just seems like, oh, the next recruiter that calls must give you the job, and then the recruiter will just ghost. And you call the person and say, oh, the job is no longer available. They don't even pick your call at all. Get accountability partner that will push you as you're learning new skills. The person is pushing you and say, okay, guy, let's do this. We can achieve this. I've tried this pattern and all that. Another part of networking is mentorship. Go on LinkedIn, attend programs, and pick mentors. Pick people that can help you achieve that particular goal or career path that you have chosen. And that being said, the mentorship, please make sure it is not a parasitic mentorship. Like, I am confused, I don't even know what I want to do. Come and help me. It will be difficult for somebody to help you. Chart a path. It will be difficult for somebody to help you chart a path that you have not made up your mind, because they know that if they decide for you, you might not see that particular path through, right? So when you want to look for mentors, make sure you have done your own due diligence. Make sure you have a career path that you have actually invested time and energy in. And then people will be able to help you. That is another aspect of networking. But even when you have accountability partners, please still remember the journey of person A is different from the journey of person B. You can have an accountability partner, and in 2 months, the person gets a job. And it seems like, what did I do wrong that I don't have a job yet? Be happy for the person, genuinely happy for the person. And then ask the person, how did you go about it? Did you attend a boot camp? Yes. Did you prepare for an interview? Yes. The church I attend, we have a unit that prepare people for interview. So if somebody like that comes to you and say, okay, I got a job, ask the person, how did you prepare for the interview? What resume did you use? Let me look at your resume template. Did you send a reminder mail to the recruiter, or it just happened like that? Do you understand? So you need to understand that your accountability partner might get it faster, and you might be the one that will get it faster than your accountability partner. So if you get it before your accountability partner, please extend grace to the person. And in your journey through this change or transition into new career path or achieving your Canadian dream, you need to also understand that personal development or personal investment is very, very key. You don't just go about networking and not develop and not invest into yourself. So that you have SMART goals, you have the big picture, you have network, which should come after personal investment, really. Networking should come after personal investment, where you have your own part that you have done. And then the first thing about investment in yourself is you have done your gap analysis. This is what I need to achieve. Then the income that you have a particular percentage. 10%, 5%, 20% of my income will go to personal development. It might be to enroll in a boot camp, and then, okay, monthly, everything I make in a month, I'll have 20%, 30% go to my personal development. Please have that kind of budget. It is very, very important to have a personal learning budget. When I transitioned, I had like 20% of my income going to learning, certifications, and all that, right? So please have a personal budget. And then have milestones set. What do I have to achieve in 2 weeks? What do I want to achieve in 1 month? What do I want to achieve in 3 months? That is very, very important, so that you can assess your efforts. So at the end of 2 weeks or at the end of 1 month, you can look at yourself and say, okay, in 1 month, what did I do well? What do I need to improve? And what are the take-home points from this? Okay, I should have read 1 hour every day, 2 hours every day. I should have finished this particular certification or this particular course on Udemy, and you didn't finish it. Don't beat yourself. It is normal. Sometimes you close it and come back and remember that, oh, I didn't finish this particular course on Udemy and all that. How do I improve? So you need to find ways to improve your effort, improve what you're doing, so that you don't assume that you're doing it right. Please make sure you assess your journey every 2 weeks, every month, and all that. And then when it comes to professional certifications, I wrote a lot of professional certification, like so many. And the reason is I wanted to validate my knowledge. Don't let anybody tell you that, oh, to get a job as a project manager, you need PMP. To get a job as a business analyst, you need CBAB. No. You need to be able to defend the fact that you said you're a business analyst with experience. I'm a project manager with 5-7 years experience. Come and defend it. PMP is very important. I'm not saying don't write your PMP. I'm not saying don't write your PMI-ACB, don't write your CBAB, don't write your PMI-PBA. But that is not enough to stop you from applying for jobs. Like I said, it is a risk. The worst that will happen is they will say no, and you move on with your life. So please, certifications, very important, but don't go certification hunting, where you now do so many certifications. And if you need to do many certifications, as I did, please make sure you're trying to validate knowledge. You have experience as a business analyst, and you're doing the CBAB to validate knowledge. I think I wrote 80% of the certifications I have today after I got my job. I didn't wait to have all the certifications before applying for jobs. So please, get certifications to validate your knowledge, but then apply for jobs. you cannot go wrong applying for jobs. The worst that will happen is, unfortunately, we can't give you, and then you bounce and move the next day. So that is very, very important. And then another part that you need to do is you need to celebrate yourself, that you even survive so many, unfortunately, from HR. Please celebrate yourself that I did not die, that I did not give up. So please celebrate yourself. And when you start working, and maybe you don't have the six-figure job, or you have the six-figure job and you want something better, please reward yourself. Monthly, when the alert comes in, maybe bi-weekly or every month and all that, depending on the kind of job that you do, please reward yourself. You want that shoe, buy one per month. You want that perfume, buy it. You want that wig, buy the wig. You want that suit, buy it and enjoy it and be happy that, yes, I'm buying this on a consistently. You know, there are things that people like. Some people like good phones. If that is what makes you happy, because you need that kind of thing to power you to achieve more. You need something that will make you feel good about yourself. If it is a good car, please buy that car. If you can afford it, please. Don't go and buy the one that you don't have the financial ability to sustain it. So please reward yourself. Buy that wig, buy that suit, buy that shoe, that sneakers that you want, that car that you want. Please buy it. Please be able to afford those things and then buy them to reward yourself. You don't have to buy everything at once. Just make plans. Okay, I want to get a car at the end of the year, so I'm going to take 10%, 20% of my income and save it consistently and be consistent. At the end of the year, get the car. At the end of the maybe 1-2 years of moving to Canada, get that property. It will make you feel good about yourself that if I can achieve this, then I can do better. Right? So please make sure you reward yourself. And I understand that sometimes you hear people say when you move to Canada, then you don't need to pray. Please pray. Because, please pray. The gate that is standing between you and getting that job is not just about having the best resume. I can speak Canadian English. I have all the certifications ticked, experience ticked, and all that. Please, if you believe in prayer, pray. If you don't, just find something that connects with your spirituality and know that you have something that connects you, because the journey can be very frustrating, like I said. So if you believe in prayers, pray, and then things will happen. And then, most importantly, be grateful. That you have the opportunity to chase the Canadian dream, please be grateful. And thank yourself. And most importantly, I think the final thing I want to say is celebrate yourself. That you have the opportunity to chase this dream. We know where we're coming from. Not everybody has this opportunity. Some are still looking forward to this opportunity while you are complaining and thinking that I'm not living the Canadian dream. Go on social media and post it and say the cold in Canada is too much, and see people tell you that, come, let me replace you. So I'm going to say this: no matter how ridiculous your Canadian dream is, it is valid and it is achievable. Thank you, everybody.